34th, 29th, 35th.
31st.
Then
31st, you got 31st?
that's the same track.
1, 2. It all depends on the direction you're coming from once you enter the neighborhood.
It's 1, 2, it's 3 right here going that way.
3, 4, 5.
And then you got that triple crossing there, because that's where Matt and Allison got killed on that track.
There's approximately 20 railroad crossings that can keep you from entering in or leaving out of Collegeville as we speak right now. When I was going to school, my definition for, at least I was taught this, a definition for an island was a small tract of land surrounded by water. I equate that with where I live now, Collegeville. Collegeville is a small tract of land surrounded by railroad crossings.
And in 1926, a zoning overlay was done out of from Pittsburgh for Birmingham to, in essence, really lock in industrial uses and housing for Negroes.
Collegeville was kind of from the beginning, a kind of isolated community, and kind of became a sort of an anachronism. And like I say, it's kind of like a remnant of this early industrial period where not much changed.
Historically, access to Collegeville has been, how do you say, inadequate, to say the least.
Our streets are held up for, believe this or not, hours at the time. We are isolated. These 22 doggone railroad crossings cut us off.
We used to sit down, buy ice cream and bring it home, eat it on the way. That's when you get home, you got milk.
You sure? That's the truth. Gonna take so long.
Want to cook a chicken? Just take your frying pan on with you, because you can cook it right down the railroad track, because you won't be there long enough to cook dinner. It's really pathetic, and you can't really imagine what it's like until you live through it.
Well, I've been with the fire department 21 years, and it was a problem long before I came on. Long before. Those tracks have been there for years and years. So, you know, the problem didn't just start.
Because it usually comes between anywhere from 7:30 to 8:30. And that's the time when most of the kids are going to school, because they have to be at school at 8 o'clock.
I can look out my back door and see the kids jumping the train from down there, and I tell them don't do it, because I had a brother, you know, that lost his leg to doing it. But when the train just sit for hours and they right at the house, they just jump the train.
Some students are taking a dangerous route to get to school. It's a story you'll only see on Fox 6 News.
Fox 6 on your side watched for 3 weeks as student after student, girls and boys took potentially harmful risks.
Little kid right on the next street got his leg cut off because there's the train stopping there. He wanted to get on the other side with his playmates. Just on the next street right there in front of the school. He wants to get, he decides to go under the train, being a kid. I did say kid. He goes under the train. This train decides to pull off. He gets all of his body out, all but his leg.
And we've had so many houses to burn down. I was a little girl, and I remember Julia Rain's children getting burned in the fire. I mean, they literally, the kids' house burned down. The children burned. only because the fire department couldn't get there. And it's still sad, and it goes on and on.
Freight trains in Collegeville block traffic dozens of times every day, but Wednesday morning, train cars here stopped a fire engine company on the way to this house.
Fire was about 2 blocks away from the tracks. Trains were on all sides, we were blocked, and unfortunately 2 people lost their lives in this incident. And it was heart-wrenching, like I say, not only for the residents, but also for the firefighters to sit there and to have that hopeless feeling, knowing that they were coming there to help, to do a good job. It's really a traumatic experience on both ends.
The Metropolitan Planning Organization has actually funded some camera projects, which is hardly a long-term solution, where the city emergency, police and fire would be able to view the cameras at major railroad crossing and then dispatch the emergency vehicles depending where the trains ain't.
It gives us an idea of which routes we can take, alternative routes if it's blocked. So it's greatly improved from past years.
It's not as bad as it used to be, I will say that. But we're still having that particular problem of trains holding up the neighborhood.
I needed some bread, and I wanted to send Jimmy to the store to get a loaf of bread. I know the train was on the track, so I asked him to go to Jack's, which is in the front. We wouldn't have to cross the tracks. But somehow he wanted to come to this store. It's right by the track. So the train was just sitting there. I guess it was sitting there for a minute, so Jimmy decided to try to cross the train while I was sitting still.
I slipped up on it, between the rail and the center of it, trying to cross it, and my leg slipped.
And his foot got caught up in the railing. And somebody, the guard shack, somebody came to get me to tell me that my brother had got his foot caught up in the train. And when I came to see him, he was laying out with his foot almost completely off.
I can't get around like I want to, but every once I just thank the good Lord to be him, because it could have been worse.
That's true.
I just go by day and slow, you know what I'm saying? Real slow. I just don't think of it like that no more. Everything happened for a reason.
Well, clearly, I think, since the area was created in large measure by policies that were implemented by the city, then I do think the city has some obligation to try to alleviate the problems.
The mayor was out at our meeting in 206 and told us that the money was in place. We were going to get this. They're going to start on it within 60 days. Now, what 60 days he was talking about, I don't know, because nothing ever happened.
If you're not going to do some of what we are asking you to do, don't promise it. Because from this day forward, we plan to hold you accountable for your actions and your doing. We're tired.
We keep on trying, we keep on trying, we keep on trying, we keep on trying. And when people like myself has gone on to be with the Lord, somebody else picks it up and keep on trying. And one day, we'll get the right one in there. That's the solution to it. That's the solution to it. Because here again, the trains, they ain't going nowhere. And they shouldn't. But they can make it better.
Trucked in, trained in, and smoked in. That we are.